So, Fighting the World. What do you think of Manowar?
Let me tell you, Brian, I'm a huge fan of Manowar. I've been following Manowar and buying their albums for years. I have this album. I've got Metal Hymns in my hand as I speak. I've got Hail to England, Kings of Metal, Louder Than Hell, Warriors of the World. I am a huge Manowar fan. And because of that, I mean, knowing their catalog so well, I have to ask you, why did you select this particular song out of their catalog?
You know what? Let me tell you, this band is, they're out of New York, 1980, and I can sum this up in 3 words: attitude, attitude, and guess what? Attitude. You gotta love the dedication that this band has to their particular craft, and I think this song sums it up exactly like they want to say it. I mean, they're fighting the world. DeMeo he's an interesting guy to say the least, but Ross the Boss, this is just the epitome of Manowar. This is the song that epitomizes them, if you ask me.
See, Brian, as a huge Manowar fan, I'm just shocked that you would say that, because to me, this song does not epitomize Manowar. It's not representative of Manowar's catalog, and certainly it's not among the best songs you could pick for Manowar. This album, it's not one of my favorites. It's maybe not my least favorite either, but to me, this song is not nearly as metal as many other Manowar songs, including other songs on this album, like Black Wind, Fire and Steel, or Violence and Bloodshed. This song, it's okay, but it comes across as kind of catchy and simple. It seems to me to be a weak selection by Manowar standards. Okay,
simple is not you say that like it's a bad word. I think simple is not always a bad thing. I love the simplicity of this song. I love the message of the song. Now, let me ask you this question. Musically, lyrically, vocally, what is it that you think is weak and unrepresentative of Manowar with this song? Because to me, if you listen to some of the interviews that they have, this song is exactly what Manowar is about.
I'm not sure that that's the case. I mean, do they even play this song anymore?
Yeah, well, I bet I don't know. To me, this song, Fighting the World, Each and Every Day, it talks about something that DeMeo talks about. That they won't even interview with certain people that they don't consider real metal. In one interview, DeMeo was quoted as saying, "I believe in the fans, I believe in metal more than anybody you've ever met, and another thing, I'm prepared to die for metal. Are you?" What could be more representative of that than Fighting the World?
Yeah, maybe the song title sounds good, but I mean, to me, this isn't. You think about the classic Manowar songs, and I'm thinking Warriors of the World United. I'm thinking Black Wind, Fire and Steel. I'm thinking Manowar off this album that I'm holding, the Battle Hymns album. Those, to me, are the classic tracks of Manowar. And you said simple. I mean, that song is a lot more simple and catchy than these songs that I'm talking about that are representative of what Manowar is really about pure metal. I mean, this is okay. It's not non-metal, but it's just, if I was sharing Manowar with someone who hadn't heard them before, man, this would not be my selection.
See, of the songs you listed, those are none of the songs I would list for Manowar's greatest songs or most representative of Manowar. I mean, they have this sort of...
You wouldn't choose Manowar?
I mean, maybe, but there's just so much more that I could choose than just those things. And this song is part of it. I love the attitude of this song. I love the attitude that nobody else likes metal because they don't like what we like. I have to appreciate a little bit the fact that you defend your definition of metal so greatly, even though it's so wrong. They have this iconic character that they have on their covers, the Immortal Warrior, and that's what their song's about. Mythology, the Valhallan warrior. It's the idea of fighting the valiant fight, and fighting the world is the attitude that I love about Manowar.
Yeah, well, again, I go back to the Battle Hymns album that doesn't have that iconic character, and man, I don't know that you can do better than Manowar, than Metal Days. I mean, it's not a bad song, but to me, it isn't putting Manowar's best foot forward to select this song that doesn't showcase what Manowar has to offer.
But we're talking about metal. We're talking about a style of music. And you got to appreciate the fact that 3 times in history, this band has been recorded as the loudest band in history It's the in-your-face, kick you in the balls. We don't care what you think about what we play. We're only going to love what we love. And you know me, I love what I love.
So what was it that set this song apart for you?
You know, you're not going to like this, but it's the truth. I just love the attitude reflected in the lyrics and the power bashing of chords that come in this song. Ross kicks in with a great solo, but this song, it pounds it home.
Yeah, I mean, to me, Warriors of the World United pounds it home a lot better than this one.
Well, so your problem is musically with this song then.
I don't have a problem with the song. I'm just shocked that you would pick a song like this to be representative of Manowar, because I don't think this is the classic Manowar.
I think that Manowar has a classic sound. And I think that a lot of their songs are... Matter of fact, if I have one criticism...
I totally agree.
If I have one criticism of this band, and it's hard to believe that I'm saying this, but this band sounds too much the same. I mean, this is one of the songs where they don't sound sort of ballady. It's straight out there, balls out, straight up, fighting the world. You know, they also have a quote on their Facebook page. It says, at a time whenever bands with the word metal in their names dismiss the greatest rock genre ever, Manowar's music will never be tainted by trends or diluted by outside pressure. I think that philosophy is matched by this song, and that's what I appreciate about it. Musically, I just love that it pounds it out. It's simple, straight to the point.
To me, it's more simple than the classic Manowar. This isn't Sign of the Hammer. You know,
it's not their best song, I'll tell you that. I like Kings of Metal. To me, that's their best song.
That's better than this one. That would have been a better choice than this one. But, again, as a huge Manowar fan, and I'm a huge Manowar fan.
I know you are, yeah.
I'm a little taken aback that this is what you grabbed out of their catalog and said, here, look, this is Manowar. I would have grabbed 24 other songs before I would have gotten this one.
This would be in my top 3 of Manowar, regardless of what I think is my favorite.
There's no way.
Oh, my God. I just don't see how you can say that this is not typical Manowar. They have such a style. They have such a, you know, they're Norse mythology warrior.
And there's none of that imagery. There's none of that feel in this song. This is atypical of Manowar.
So you don't think Fighting the World would be about taking on an ultimate challenge, the hero taking on the world? You don't see that in this song.
This song, again, it just seems, I don't know, it seems a little contrived. I mean, there's a line in there about, you know, radio playing us nationwide. I would never choose this as the Manowar song to show to someone else. To me, it would be, as a Judas Priest fan, like picking Last Rose of Summer, which is a good song. I'm not running down Last Rose of Summer, but to pick that and say, this is Judas Priest, would not be representative of their catalog. Similarly, I don't think Fighting the World is the quintessential Manowar song by a long shot.
I didn't say this is the quintessential Manowar song. I'm not worried about what defines Manowar. I'm worried that I love this song. I love the attitude of this song, and I think it reflects the attitude of Manowar.
There's no doubt that I appreciate Manowar, everything that they stand for. They've got a large catalog. I just picked something else, and it just comes across to me as a little sing-songy.
Well, you don't like it because it has the 4/4 time and the steady tempo verse, chorus, verse, you know?
Yeah, what I would call sing-songy, yeah.
Yeah, what I would call good song structure. I'm not necessarily sure a song has to change tempos 50 times during the course of the song to make it a good song. And simple, like I said, simple is not a word that I would use to insult a song. I'm not sure why you would define simple as an insult. To me, it doesn't make sense. Music is either good or it's not. It's either enjoyed or it's not. I got no problem with you not liking that this is the typical Manowar song, but do you like the song?
It's not that I don't like that it's not the typical Manowar song. It's just a fact. This is not the typical Manowar song. Most Manowar songs are not structured this way.
I think the attitude of Manowar is reflected in this song.
And you don't think it's reflected in Manowar?
I'm not saying it's not reflected in other songs, but for me, this is the one.